Hey all, thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're making a Halo Needler designed by me, Mr. Campbell Prince. I have loved Halo from Halo Combat Evolved to Halo 5 and every game in between. Halo Reach is my favorite, but I'll talk about that later. If you want to download this model, check out my Fangs, Patreon and Cults pages. And if you don't have a 3D printer, check out my Etsy store to download the finished model. Links will be in the description below. Now, I want to give a massive shout out to today's video sponsor, Polymaker. Polymaker provided all the wonderful PLA in today's video, from the amazing silk fuchsia pink PLA down to that wonderful purple PLA and to their wonderful silver PLA. Check for the links in the description below. Let them know I sent you. It's video sponsored, but it's such an amazing filament. Thank you, Polymaker, for always supporting this channel. Now, with all that being said and done, let's crack on with the video. Now, removing the supports are fairly easy, but printing isn't so easy when it comes to printing these needles. Because they're so thin, jagged and crystal-like shaped, I definitely 100% you need to use supports. I use tree supports for this. You can use regular if you want. And I did use a brim just to keep the supports down because I had to print this about 3 or 4 times. But it came out beautiful in the end. Now, supports, as always, aren't too hard to remove. Just do it carefully and gently because they are fragile, especially near the tips. I did break a few and I had to reprint some of them. But other than that, it's quite fairly to remove. In terms of orientation, I get asked the question a lot, which way to print and what orientation to print in. It does depend on up to each person, but I like to print the side that isn't going to be seen flat down because the PI bedsheet that I use leaves that mark and that print in it. Sometimes I can't help it, I have to print it on the side which is going to be visible, but I try to avoid that at all costs if possible. So as you see here, some of the side bits, especially that big bit at the beginning, I print on the side just because it printed better that way, but you will see a little bit of that PI imprint. Obviously, if you use a different type of PI sheet, you get a different imprint, but for me personally, I like to hide that mark. Now, talking about Halo and the wonderful series, I have loved Halo from the beginning. I have played every single Halo game, and my favorite is Halo Reach, as I think it is with most people. I do love Halo Combat Evolved. Halo 3 and 2 are iconic, but Halo Reach just hits so differently. Play Halo Infinite and Halo Guardians, they're good, but it's just not my favorite. It just became a typical open world of Halo Infinite. I did like it, I did enjoy it very much, but Halo Reach hit that special spot in my heart. I won't spoil the end, but once you get to know that game, you realize why it's so amazing. Getting on to design this process wasn't too difficult in terms of wanting to. I knew I wanted to make this. This is, you know, an iconic weapon. When I think of Halo, I think of the Needler. But I said the most difficult, as it is most of these props I make, these 1-to-1 scale props, is the sizing, trying to figure out the size. And if you play the game or watch, must see if he's a giant 6 foot, 7 foot giant man. The Covenant are massive, so their hand size isn't, you know, your typical average human hand size. So I based it on mine, you know. It's average, I guess. You know, a bit bigger than normal, you know what I'm saying about the hand size. But anyway, yeah, so I designed it to be 1-to-1 scale, but obviously this isn't Covenant 1-to-1 scale because it'll be twice the size and my hands aren't that big. Now, putting the base together is pretty simple. Use a bowl clips, butterfly kits, whatever they're called, clip it in, glue it in together. Now, the rest of the body, now this bit I'm showing you now, you should probably put this bit after, near the end, once you've got the piece together, just because you'll see later on, but trying to attach it to the rest of the body is a bit difficult. And the reason some of these body parts are put individually is size of print, because I've got a lot of messages saying that I love this print but it doesn't fit my printer, and rather than having to slice it in your slicer, I thought let me put the print separately. And also I think it gives it a better aesthetic look, because I could have made all the silver bits one large bit, especially when it comes to the handle and, like, I don't know, the top part of it, but it doesn't give that mechanical sort of robotic look. If it was in one print, it'd be very smooth. It would have been smooth, but I wanted to feel a bit more rough, a bit more ready, feel like it was put together in some factory somewhere. So that's why I made a lot of the smaller parts separately. I know it doesn't make sense to just at least, you know, why don't you just make one big part, but it gives it a better look. I did actually make a lot of the silver parts one big piece, and it looked very similar, but it just felt a bit too clean. You know, I wanted to have a little bit of ruggedness, if that makes sense. Like this bit here, when I'm gluing on the gems or the trigger or the, I don't know, the auto fire mode, I'm assuming that's what this shiny button's for. But yeah, I wanted to make it individual for that reason only. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for getting to this point, because your support has meant a lot to me. We're getting close to 6,000 subscribers. We're getting so close to that 10 million, everyone. We're getting there slowly but surely. I know it sounds like it's a dream, but this time 4 months ago was barely on 1,000 subscribers, and we're here now. You know, things are moving amazing. So thank you, every single one of you. Check out my Etsy store, check out my Instagram and my TikTok and all those other one on social media. And actually, yeah, please, can you check out the Instagram, because I'm like only on like 300 like followers there. So every one of you subscribers here, if you can follow me on Instagram, that would be amazing. We can do some more amazing things. And yeah, I'm really excited about the future of this channel and things what have been happening. I know my regularity of uploading was different last week, depending on when you're watching, so I didn't upload last week, and I think that's the main thing. I don't want to have to upload every week if there's nothing great or something exciting to show you lot. So I will try to upload every week, as I've done for the last year, but I will also take in consideration that if it's not worth uploading that week, I won't. Like, I took a week off, took some time off, and I designed this Halo needler and printed it and made it and showing you guys, and I might do the same next week or whatever. But the point is, the quality of the channel is the most important thing to me. I just don't want to throw out tons of videos, you know, some are meaningless just for the sake of it. I want to ensure that you guys enjoy this and yeah, really sort of appreciate it. But anyway, back to the video. So these parts, so they're press fit here. I did have to glue one side of them in, but I didn't expect them to actually be press fit. I thought I would have to glue all of it in, but for the other ones, you saw that it just literally, I snipped off a little bit of the end because it was a bit too tight. And once I made the gap a bit wider, it managed to press fit in, which is really good. Made it a lot easier for myself, really. Talking about Halo again, in the comments, let me know what your favorite Halo game was in the series, if you are into Halo, or your favorite video game, because I am a massive gamer, as I've said many times before. So yeah, let me know what your favorite iconic weapon is. Also, let me know what you want to see next in terms of props, because you know I love making props. I'll be honest, I'm designing the White Ranger Saber sword, if you want to call it that, at the moment, so that will become up eventually. But there is also 2 other models that I'm designing. One for the Gears of War and another one from the Halo series. Now, these are all the parts assembled, i.e. glued together. Now it's time to put them back together again. Now, these pins that I'm using here, they're not necessary for structure or strength. They're more to guide you, so you know to line up straight. So you can just glue the piece together, that's fine. But I realized if I did that, some bits might be misaligned, and you might misalign the handle from the butt and so forth. So I use these pins for more of a guide, just to make sure everything's straight and, you know, line properly. But obviously they do add a little bit more rigidity and strength if you're not using that much glue. But each to their own. I use a bit of both and mix here. They are super tiny, so yeah, be careful. I think they're like less than like half a centimeter, if that, in width. In total, this is a massive weapon in terms of size. It's 50 centimeters long, 32 centimeters tall, and about 10 centimeters wide. So it's quite a big handful. No pun intended. But yeah, this was quite simple to put forward. I will leave you the rest of the video, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Now the needles do have specific places they need to go. Just line them up and see which one fits, and then attach a bit of glue and glue them in. They're not random, you can't just put anyone in each one. You'll see which ones fit in which slots, and those will make more sense. But with all that being said and done, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Please like, subscribe, share, it means the world to me. Thank you so much for getting this channel to where it needs to be, and thank every single one of you, it means the world. But with all that being said and done, it's all built now. Now let's get on to the wonderful glamour shots. Let's go!